Agua Apprentices at the Agua Hedionda Lagoon. My name is Miss Christina, and today we will be learning about who polluted the lagoon. Now, we are going to have the lesson and the activity together because the activity tells a story that you can recreate at home with the help of your parent or guardian with the online instructions. Okay, let's get started. So the lagoon sits at the bottom of a very large watershed. Does anyone know what a watershed is? You're right. A watershed is an area of land where all of the water that falls down on the land drains to. It does this through something called surface runoff. Now, examples would be snow melting off the mountains, which turns into water and runs downhill, or rain that comes through and floods the streets and fills the storm drains, and then all the water continues to run down. When this water overflows, all of the excess water makes a larger pool of water. So examples would be a stream or a river, a lake, or a lagoon. Now, how many of you like to play in the water when you go to the beach and play in the ocean or swim in the lagoon? And how many of you like to eat fish that swim in the water? So today, we are going to learn why watersheds are so important and need to be taken care of. Okay, let's look at our activity. We took a few boxes, some paper towel rolls, some aluminum foil, and we put it together. So what we did was we laid the aluminum foil down. We used a homemade Play-Doh recipe to make a mountain with some green land, and then we cut up some blue foam in order to make our ocean. Okay, so this sets the stage for our activity and our story. So let's get going. There was a time many years ago when our land was very wild before roads and cars. So I'm gonna put out a little guy there. Okay, only a small number of native people lived on the land. And here in Carlsbad, it was the Liceno people. So they depended on nature for everything that they needed to survive. They lived very simply and they didn't change their surroundings very much. So their only pollution that went into the lagoon were leaves. So we're gonna take some leaves that we picked up around the lagoon and we're gonna put them all over our landscape. Okay, so now we have some leaves. Eventually, more people traveled to this land and they found rich soil for farming and forests full of wildlife and a lagoon that provided plenty of food and water. It was the perfect place to live. But with more people came new ideas. So we had some people build some houses. So we made a house out of cardboard and some construction paper. And the farmers came and they planted crops to feed their families. So we're gonna use some baking soda to pretend that we are fertilizing our crops because the fertilizer helps the crops grow faster. Now, then there were more types of farmers, and these farmers had barnyards, and we used a box and some brown construction paper for our barnyards. Now, what lives in a barnyard? Animals, like pigs and cows and horses. So then you have an agricultural runoff, which is also called manure, and we're gonna use some coffee grounds. So we're gonna add some coffee grounds onto our landscape. Okay, so now we have more people who are coming to the area because this place is amazing. And they are gonna move the soil around because they're gonna make some building sites. They're gonna add some houses, they're gonna add some schools, build some hospitals. It's gonna be so awesome. Okay, but now we need to be able to fill these buildings, right? These schools and these houses, so we built some factories. We used a piece of cardboard, a paper towel holder, and a straw, and this is gonna be our factory. Now the factories make things like furniture. Oh, there goes my factory. Like furniture and clothes and all kinds of other exciting things that we fill our houses with. But every once in a while, sadly, the factories have paint leaks or chemical leaks. So we're gonna use some green water and we're gonna add it to our land. We might even add a little bit more green water. Okay, so we're gonna add it to our land. Okay, and then we have cars that also come out of the factories. So we're gonna add some cars over here because we have to be able to get to school and we have to be able to get our groceries and we have to be able to get to work. So now we have some cars. But every once in a while, if we don't take good care of our cars, they have a tendency to leak oil. And if we're not good when we're getting gasoline, they leak gasoline. So we're gonna add some yellow water. Okay, so we have our drivers and our cars. Now, every once in a while, we really want to wash our car because it's very, very dirty. Well, we get out our soapy water, right? Because we wash them in our driveway, and the soapy water causes all of the grime and the rust and the grease on our cars to go down into the storm drains. And the storm drains keep flowing down into the ocean. Okay, so then let's say we have a boat and we want to go out on our boat one day because we deserve a break for all of our hard work. So we're going to take our boat and we're going to go out on the ocean. But the boats are very similar to the cars. And sometimes if we don't take care of the engines, they leak motor oil. So we're going to add some red water onto there. Okay, and because we work so hard, we want to take our family to the beach for a picnic. And it'd be nice to just go have a wonderful afternoon. But sometimes we accidentally leave our trash or it blows away. So we're gonna add some trash down by the ocean. Okay, and then we have our fishermen. Oh, there goes my factory. And then we have our fishermen. And sometimes when the fishermen are out catching fish, the line gets stuck on a log or it gets hooked on something, and instead of untangling it, we just cut it off, and then the fishing line stays in the ocean. Now, if you're at home, you can use dental floss and cut up a few pieces and put them down in your ocean. We had some fishing line, but we're not going to use it today. Okay, so now what happens? The rain comes, and this is actual rainwater because we had rain in Carlsbad recently and it filled our bucket. Okay, so here comes the rain, and it's gonna wash everything off. Oh my gosh, rain, 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 rain. Here it goes. Okay, is your table as messy as mine? I love it, it's so much fun. So I'm gonna show you this water. Oh, there goes my landscape. I'm gonna show you this water that came off of our landscape, and I'm gonna ask you two very important questions. So this is our water. Let me take this out so you can see it. This is our water. Can you see it? Okay, does that look like water that you would want to swim in? Does it look like water that you would want to eat fish that swam in? No, that is some icky water. Okay, so notice that these were a lot of little things that added up to make some really icky water. It wasn't like one or two big things. So that's why it is so important for every single one of us to pay attention to the pollution that we are contributing to or that's happening around us. So pollution is the presence or introduction of a substance or thing that has a harmful or poisonous effect. Then that is something to think about, because do you think the humans are affected? And do you think the animals are affected, like the fish? Yes, we're all affected. So it's a combined effort, which means it takes a combined effort to reduce pollution. Now in Carlsbad, there's about 115,000 people living here, and that doesn't even include all the people who come on vacation. So if every one of us took a small step, we can create one large footprint of reduction when it comes to pollution. Okay, so most of these items you can find around your home. Be very creative and help your parents or guardians. You have now completed